everybody. My name is Jessica Holyfield, and I'm a professional dance choreographer and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States, and we are here taking a look at XG's Howling. I'm excited for this. We've taken a dive into Woke Up, If You Know, You Know, and Something Ain't Right, so I really have a feeling this one's going to tie more towards the Woke Up vibes because of the wolf just howling imagery out the gate, so I cannot wait to dive in. Let's go.
First we rockin', that's how we roll. Lock is out, cause expect that boom. Talk is down, there's no stakes in stones. Down connected like tic-tac-toe. Lights go out of my pack, just grow. Opposition, my pre, my post. Game of hunger, I'll bring that smoke. You don't want no smoke. Things up, I try to come through you, some hand out. I'll be throwing these balls like a handout. Too many cap, then I'll be losing head down. Sit a red dot. I like to cook, so I humble my dinner. My appetite only get bigger and bigger. If I too whoop, then it must be a thriller. Woke up and blessed, so I must be a killer. Way out, but it fades out. Can hide in the dark. Cause when that moonlight on the full rise is going down, nothing can stop or dangerous. So don't play with us, could be dangerous. So private the sound. That's how we howl. That's how we howlin', rowlin', rowlin'. That's how we howlin', rowlin', rowlin'. Where are you now?
Whoa. This is a spare no expense music video. Come on.
Moonwalk on a rooftop, move far, move like that. Choreographer with a zoom shot, move around with a love, bringing the whole squad. These places not for you to reenact. First down, and you know how we attack. Touchdown, and you know how we impact.
Yeah.
Got to throw, got to go. Rewind the video, do it when you get it right back. You unleash the beast, call it Wolfgang, 'cause we got to beast.
Hey.
A new type of breed, never sees. I got mouth to feed. Listen to hear it howling.
I love Kokona's fit. Come on. Whoa. Oh. Wow. Come on. Lord help us. That was... Wow. Oof. Oof. God, it's so cool. Okay. We're going to talk about something real quick. So I can't really talk about the dance because it does cut in and out so much, but it makes me very, very excited to hopefully get a performance version or a dance practice or something along those lines. We'll see. There is a particular section that talks about moonwalking. We gotta make a correction here. Where are you now? It's right here. So she technically, that vibe that we just saw there, it says moonwalking, right? Moonwalk on the rooftop. So I know a lot of people associate the word moonwalk with this backwards gliding motion. Technically, the term for that move is called a backslide, not a moonwalk. So did Michael Jackson get it wrong? Yes. So you can talk to those that actually taught him that. They're the ones that said that this is a backslide that they do. So as a dance educator, that is definitely something I feel the need to express. But I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I like the term, at least culturally, we associate moonwalk with that. But as long as you guys know, it's not technically called that, it's fine. But in general, Lord have mercy, there's... like when I watch, it's like it's hard for me to say something because there's so much that I'm digesting when we're watching it, right? Like I think my favorite fit is Kokona's. Would I wear this? I don't know if I could possibly wear anything that exists in this music video, and like I don't know, like my lifestyle could not pull any of these fits, and that's what's so fascinating about about this group. Oh my god, this track's really cool. Everyone's vocals or their rap is very complimentary and fitting. It definitely feels like we're building on top of woke up. Like we've woken up and chosen violence in the most peaceful way, if that makes sense. And I love just this sheer number of we have like these moss people. I know they're like fellow wolves, right? But Lord, good gracious, like I love that we're cut into the woke up fangs, like seeing that all in more of a visual vibe. And I like these little grassy people. It's a vibe. Like it definitely gives like a, what is it? Like a battle warfare kind of vibe, doesn't it? Like we're going to war. It definitely feels that way, right? Alpha's now the fear surrounding. Yeah, and then having just sheer number of people. Like, alphas are strong is what this looks like, right? I move in silence. Ooh, like, come on. Does this remind me, if I'm being completely honest, of all of the members of XG? They're giving Power Rangers superhero, like, we're saving the day, but they look like they're dressed as the villains of Mighty Morphin. Like, come on. This is giving Lord Zed in the best stylistic way. Do you know what I mean? And then even this cut right here is like the 2024. You dial this back like 2 decades, you're giving Rita. You know, I'm living for this so hard. And oh man, I think that's why it's like I'm vibing with it. It's surely because it's like low-key nostalgic. Like this type of, you know, having the oh my gosh, the wolf kind of headdress vibe is really sick. It reminds us of Woke Up pretty well, actually. And then, but the type of fit also could pull from the other tracks, which is really nice. And then I like already, like even that, like how we pulse it is really nice. Yeah, and then there's just, it's just, oh man. And then even with these, right, that reminds me of, there's like an anime that has that, and that's just so cool. I don't know, I'm just like I love being caught off guard. Well, I'm not technically caught off guard because they always know like what to bring, or they bring something that I've kind of just accepted there's gonna be something that's just gonna catch me off guard, and that's what it was the Power Rangers villains pull that this felt like to me. And the track was very easy on the ears, and it makes me very excited for a dance visual to come quickly. These will be combined, so on YouTube you'll see the dance visual right after this, but Patreon it's all separated. But oh my gosh, and then this dragon reminds me of Lay's Lit. Like the caliber of the production of it is freaking sick. Like that filthy, that cut is amazing. Like guys, oh my god, I may just have to watch Dora Normay with you just to see him talk about the mayhem of this music video, you know what I mean? That's, gosh, the color palette on this is sick. I really like this cut here. That right there, how they cut it. Oh, the vibrancy from the black and white to her pink hair. Lord, that's just this was really cool. We have a fan cam, everyone. I have been dying to look at this choreography, but when I tell you I have been working so hard to try to find an unblocked way to get it on YouTube, it was just not happening. So I'm so thankful. Shout out to Kayla W. Mochi for this fan cam. I'm excited for this. Let's actually talk about it. Let's go. Ready. Yeah. Yep. Yes. I really like the fact we got some neon accent points with the light. Let's go. Yep. Love that little pepper seed variant. Bigger and better. Yes. Oh, the legs on that was wild. That was cool. Woohoo! The audience. Nice. Nice. This is really fun. Okay. Hey. Yes. Yep. Wow. Wow, the syncopation is so fun. Whoa. That is dope. Wow, come on. Yep. Yeah. Oh, dope. Oh, it's good. God, that's good choreo. Sheesh. Okay, let's talk about it. Oof. From the jump. So I like that we have our two columns, and I like this positioning here. It does give me a tree of life vibe personally, which, you know, ties into the music video somewhat, where it's they're very combative, but there's a lot of life and earth qualities about their choices, which is really cool. So I like how we bookended it with this element. Super dope. Golly. So I love that automatically from the jump we have one of our members, I'm assuming this is Jaren, with and I really do like the fact it's in the black light. It's just a dope. It's dope. It feels like we're under the moonlight, you know? And I really like the vibe of that. And so having Jaren, basically our leader, she's like, yo, let's come on, pack, let's go. You know, and this very beginning double bass is what it sounds like, right? Boom, boom, boom. It sounds similar, like in the same family as No More Dream by BTS. It's what it feels like to me. I was thinking about it when I watched the music video, and it took me a second after the recording to be like, where have I heard this type of integration in the beginning of a track? And it would be that one. BTS's debut track. So I think it's really fun. I love the little familial essence about it. But anyway, from here, I love that she hinges it around, and then from there, having every other within our columns, they accent, and then they slowly melt back into their columns. I like the crawls, and they have to push, Jaren has to push with her hips ever so slightly to help push on that transition to move where she needs to go, and she has to make sure that she's through the column in order for them to absorb in to this position, which is really nice. So good job on her, good job on them. I love the focal point, the looks, and I like the levels integrated with the arm branching out. And then from here, that definitely gives Jazz Club, right? It's such a vibe. She comes up, which is really nice. You have the little bleed outs, are super cool. That's cool. Then we come out, we go in, out, really nice. Wakona hops, boom. I love the fact that she held and sustained until that beat dropped. Good timing on her end for that. She has to, sometimes if she sets up too early, she has to hold it a little bit longer. So that looks really, really dope. From here, the fullness on that, it goes rock in this how we roll. So rock, like a rock guitar, super dope. And I like that we're letting the torso also be integrated in our choices. God, it's so nice to see. So seeing that there is really fun. And then it goes roll. So they use the roll, body roll, to help with the hinge. And then they're using a chest pop. Not really like a full pop. It's just more like a pulse. So we're just accenting and contracting. It would be what I would call that more so. And then she goes, brings it up. Boom, nice little head to accent with the legs. Super dope. And then we go swim, swim with the arms, and letting our back help with the energy as that we're outputting on this. And then we take it, nice little just biting move, super dope. And then we hit it with the bass, bringing it up, having our arms coming from over, we throw, and then we're continuing with this groove as we transition. I love it whenever we see choreo that has interesting choices in our transitions. It's not just in our content. The focal point is all of it, not just in the moments you want people to focus on. With our features, they are being featured, but everybody is still contributing to accenting all the different parts of our music, which is exactly what you want to see in choreography as a group, especially with a group. I love it because they all have to hold responsibility for it. And so I like the fact that she hits it. She has an outlier by not accenting with her arms like everybody else. That was cool. So I like how she hits it up. And then it does look like they were doing an Indian top rock on that. But we're going to double check that here. Yeah, hit my foe, something along those lines. The grab, I love with the straight leg. Really fun. Guys, Sienna, it looks like Sienna just vomited all over this, and I love it. Like, Sienna's pocket is filthy. Oh, God. They hit it over. If she was not on this, I will be shocked. Just how they're holding themselves in posture, I've seen Sienna do time and time again, and I love it. Anyway, the hinge over is really cool. I like the little bleed up, allowing the fingers to also be a moment within that. I love those little attention to details. It just makes it more, I don't know, it just makes it more desirable to continue to watch. Because if it's too simple, I mean, there's beauty in simplicity, for sure. But I'm saying on a track like this, having choreography that's very dense in this way, this is very fun because there's so much saturation in the music video. And then seeing this content be saturated, not to the same degree of heightenedness, at least for me. I can analyze this movement so much more effectively than music video material. But I really am a fan of the fact that we have it phrased the way that we do. So there's so much that you can glean, that there are going to be details that I don't touch on here that do exist that you get to revisit and hopefully see in a different light by watching this over and over again. It's just so fun. So I like to hit it, boom. I like the little accent, bringing it up and over. And I like the little extra, just a little punctuation, little comma of their movement before they move on to a new spot. And then do the swim, swim. That's a little peppa seed with the shoulder. I like that choice. Definitely gives that Area 51 alien UFO vibe, which I love it. Wow, wow, wow. Cool. So they're already giving an outer space vibe. So I like how we reset to that front. And I like the hit with the arms is super fun. They bring it over. I like the grab onto the head. And they go, see you later. And then she comes up. I like the extra pulse on this. So they're stepping out with the leg as they're pulsing it. It is giving that Savage Fenty vibe, you know, a lot of their collaboration stuff, like Paris stuff. And I know Sienna's done a lot of Savage Fenty alongside Paris. So that's really cool. Never seen that already integrated. Goodness, hit, and I love this extra pulse. There's a lot of pulsing in our groove, which is really, really nice. And then I like in the wolf, so how we rotate from the wrist to help create this stylized arm position, hand position, which is really cool. I love how she drops it down. It's feminine. It's not seductive nor suggestive. It's feminine and powerful, and it feels, I don't know, you're provoked, if that makes sense. Really cool. So I like from there, we have a lot of these kind of hinging, not hingy, but low-key, yeah, definitely more on the engagement on the muscles as we're choosing to create these angles, which I really love in column. Even from the side, you can still see there's a lot going on, but if I bet you from that front, you see a lot of really cool outliers that are fanning out, which kind of low-key match what's going on in that music video where they pan it in that huge, I don't know if it was like a god or something that they were emulating, you know, I don't know, god of nature or something. Anyway, I like the little with the accent out, little tap with the fingers is cool. The melts are really nice. They fall to the floor. I love that we bleed, having it start from, I think that's Juria, right? Yeah. So, yeah, and so she hits it across and then she brings it over. A lot of floor work. Very surprised by the amount of floor work for level justification. Normally I see crouching. I normally don't see full to the floor, my bottom's on the floor rolling as much. So that's really, really surprising to me that we're seeing that so much here. I love it though. Guys, especially this section right here, we come up and then they create a speed change out of it. Lord help us. I love how we created this just a 90-90 and then we're slowly shifting it to the respective outsides. Guys, that is cool. Such a captivating element. And then from here, the pulls are really nice. And then you have Hinata come in and she goes right here into the chest. And then we have this little rotation. So we have some Vogue influence, hybrid for sure in this. Whacking, more so Vogue than anything. And so it's really nice to see that ingrained here. And so even here, the the hip rotation is something that you a lot of times can see people when they're on the ground doing Vogue leg work, right? On the floor. So it's really cool that we're seeing that kind of usage and rotation happening here to help create more speed changes, and it creates an environmental depth as well. So cool. And then they pull it through, nothing can stop, and then dangerous. And I like that we have the twinkling in, come play with us, and we pull it in, which is nice. And then they go in, so they swing down, so that it looks like, I think it was Chisa, right? Chisa and Hinata dip. Jurin comes through in that column. And that sound comes from ears, we hear there. And then I like that they look, the sound. And I really like how we have beautiful harmonies on that. And it goes, that's how we howl. That audience is wild for howling with them. Let's go. You know what I mean? And it goes, ow. So I like the little arch. I know I was so off key. My bad, ladies. It's okay. But I like from there, ooh, they have to match range on the arm. So a lot of times people may not be mindful of like how far back you have to go. Some people may have more flexibility in their shoulders than others in the group. So that's going to influence how far back their arms can go for their comfort level. And that's going to influence the upper back too. So getting that on the same page is pretty well done, despite the fact they can't really look front on it in order to maintain the line. So that's really cool. Then they do a little hair. Some of them chose to go hair. Some just chose to reset. That's fine. Then it goes, that's how we howl and syncopated. Let's go. It looks like Chisa chose to modify. She just did it more marked because she's actually singing, so it makes sense. So her modification actually allows us to see her more as a feature here. It's totally fun. I love the chest on this, so it's a figure 8 that we're seeing, but they're resting their weight a little bit more to the back, so it creates depth in the figure 8 versus keeping it a 2D side. You're exploring a different plane, which is really fun. Yeah, and I like the little brush going on with the wrist. Come on now. And then it goes, that's how we howl. They're like, boom, let's freaking go. And then we go, oh, and then you have Kokona come in. And I really like the fact that the courses are different. It's really fun. And the fact that it really builds, where it's more unison here in this first course, where you establish, hey, if you're going to challenge this, here you go. Good luck. Who do you want to be? I love it. And then the second course, it say, we're going to raise you twofold. We're going to go to the floor. Goodness gracious, with the same degree of range, same degree of tension, which shows consistency and thorough practice. We love it. Great stage presence there. I noticed that she kind of sunk, Kokona did, in her chest to allow this arm to have more fullness in the range. Golly, it's so fun. Then from there, they have their moment. They take the arms up. Not a fixed point or anything by any means, but I like the fact that the arms met with the chest. Really nice. And they go, that's how we howl in. So that was a nice little hip drop there, nice hip iso to help complement with the hands. We love that. And then they hit down, and then they're looking, and then as they look and redirect the direction, they've now dropped a level to crouching. Come on now. And then they end up going from side to side. Why does this feel familiar? I'll tell you. Jurin did it in the very beginning when she established her wolf-like instincts that we saw established there, helps justify fingerprint wise for the remainder of the routine. And that's really fun, especially if you're talking about a track like Howling, a lot of wolf imagery. Yes, the pack alphas, you know, it makes so much sense. And it really does feel, it's a title track, but it feels like a fan track too, right? Like it's meant for fans. So I really like this. This feels like the album was made for fans. And then I love the fact this is where having nails really can work. Because look at the freaking claws. Like it just feels so animalistic, feminine, and powerful. I love it. And so right there, they bleed boom, boom, boom. That's gorgeous. I really do think they were going on the double bass. So it goes boom, 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 boom. Oh, God. One more time for the people in the back. Watch this. Bum, 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 bum. Cool. And then we have, who's that? It looks like Juria. She dips down low. I like her arms go up. And then they join in with the head. Oh, eating. Flick it. Next verse, ready to pop off. Let's go. We go, boom. Then right there, moonwalk. That's technically a backslide. I've talked about that in the music video, so I won't really mention it again because this is all going to be put together in one big fun video. But yes, we all should know. I appreciate the wordplay option because of our familiarity. Culturally, we associate the word moonwalk to this movement, but you know, because you're with me, that's backslide. Okay, so moving on. I like the rotation with our arms up. I like the different level pursued, and we are kind of pursuing a different rotation out of that too, which is really fun. So she hits it over. I don't quite know if we were going for a full wave out of that. It did look like our wave disappeared, so that would be my note if she was trying to go for that. But if she was just doing a stylized arm energy shift, that's whatever, you know, it's fine. And then she hits it, boom. I love that choice. We pick it up. I like the little ball change to get us the inside. Have a little, just nice little bounce, mini cipher circle party of 4. We love it. She hits it. I like the level lower, so you still see all the members here that are in this little grouping, but you still see Jurin as your feature. Really dope. Really good stage presence because it feels very authentic. It feels very natural in how they're choosing to feature. There's a lot of these organic choices with your feature where they're either moving and they're doing things in their marked or more full than the other members, or they're elevating or lowering their level to complement the choreography. Really, really fun, and I love that interaction. So even there, so far we don't have any basket runs. Mwah, chef's kiss to that, thank you. So I like the double, and I love this little boom, boom, boom. And she hits it over. I love that choice. She hits it over nice. And then we had the little swing around over. And then we have a little ISO coming out of that. Let me look here. The little sway is nice, and it kind of subtly got everybody a little bit more spaced out, which is really cool. Now, here's what I don't know. My member in the back, I don't know if she is directly behind Harvey, and we just got lucky with seeing her because of her vantage point, which whenever you see groups in concert, that is one thing that if you do have a bias of a group, can be any group, and they tend to be in the back of a formation for an even number group. It's really where I'm mostly talking about this, because that happens more often in even number groups. For symmetry, you can always try to put yourself somewhere to where you can always see them. You know, like if you're on floor or if you're in the stadium, you're like, I know they're in the back for this part, so I'm gonna station myself right here so I can see them. You know, is the beauty of an arena style concert space. Is that you can maneuver yourself in seating to be able to see them. But here, they don't really, like, all of them are heavy hitters, so they can be placed anywhere, and they can all hold it down very well. That's a good group. We love it. We're here for it. And I like the hit with the accent point, and I like the little new school running man. I think that was super cute. And then she hits it up, bringing it up, dropping it in. I like the charisma each one of them brings, but they all choose to help be cohesive with each other whenever they're contributing to an environment, which is what you see. We have Harvey switch out, and then we got Maya coming in, right? So that's really cool that even though they have different tones, different intention in their vocalization, how they're hitting it also feels a little different, but it's still in the same family. That's a good choreo. That's good presence. I love how she accents it, where she taps that wrist, and then she ends up doing a little, not overhead, but it is more of like a whacking arm control, Vogue kind of influence. Those are different cultures, so keep that in mind. But I like that moment with the twirl. Really fun. And she hits it in that type, which is really cool. So we're here, and then we have there's a lot of these subtle syncopated chest isos that are happening to help promote another range choice in our arms. It's really fun. Then we hit it, boom, boom. I like that with the head ISO. And then Kokona comes in hot from the back. She moves forward. She hits it. I love how she's walking on our walk. It's on tempo, and we add a dig in our bounce. It's so fun. And then we have the little step, 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 and I love how we're, accenting. We could see some dips on here, and they could go, boom, let's go. We love that choice. I like that we go every other on this. We take our arm, we rotate it up, which is really cool, or swing it up, and they go nice little punch. We're ready to pack a punch, let's go. And then we rotate in. So we're used to seeing this, we're used to seeing this, we're used to seing this. I love that. Nice familiarity. And then I love this connection here. So they're all interconnected. So how they set it up is all, I've wondered the workshopping on this, because you have to make sure wherever anybody's arms are, however you choose to navigate this, needs to make sure you don't break the line. Breaking the line would mean you don't want this to separate unless that you're ready to let go. So in these movements, that's really nice. Notice they had to stay connected through that. I like the fact that they had to not only figure out how am I going to rotate, but how am I going to get this transition to get us to the other side, or to rotate from inside to outside without changing this or having to break away in order to get it. So it's really simple, but it does take workshopping if you're not super familiar with doing this degree of threading, right? So it's cool. So I love all that. It's super fun, and I love too when you add features on top of it, it's another layer of workshopping. Because if you're having to go from Hinata to Chisa, where Chisa starts is really important, because if you want to get her in and through the choice in what you made in your setup in your previous phrase, you have to make sure she's in the right place to do that, or you're going to break the line. So I really like the fact that we get to appreciate that. Little body roll is fun. And then right there, we got Juria right there in center. We love that. And then we have this moment. I like the little finger embellishment there with your breath. It's really fun, and I like that we accent our hands up. It's just dangerous because we can. Let's go. And then we present our arms up, which is nice. That sound, we love the little sound moment. And then they made some little wolf ears. I didn't catch that in the initial watch. I love the fact we caught it here though. Yeah, the sound, that's giving wolf wordplay energy. We love that. Then they all go, that's how we howl. But then you saw Harvey, she twinkles it into something familiar, right? You saw it in the very beginning and at the end. And she takes it up, that's how we howl. Very fun way for her to stay featured in that, but also tie into the lore of the track. So dope. And having to drop that quickly without damaging your knees and looking to the floor, well done, ladies. That's practice. And then it goes, hoo, accent on the end. And then right here, the boom, boom, golly, like that bass, pa, pa. So fun. I normally don't see people isolate this. I normally see a double bounce. So that's a really cool, interesting choice. Just like with the 90-90 on the legs, and they speed changed it, and then they rotated to the other side. Not used to seeing that on the floor, on a track. Does that make sense? It's just cool. This is just cool choices. Then they double this. So this is the same as what we ended up seeing in the first course, but they ended up doing the left leg. Here they did the right, and they added a body roll. I think they did in the first one too, but I really caught it here. Body roll there to make it feel really full on the base. They roll on the floor. Guys, second course, we're using the floor so much. Pop off, ladies, to this. Then from here, they extend that leg out. They're lunging, definitely like we are. We are wolves. A lot of wolf imagery. We love that. And they end up doubling up once again. Now they're saying, let's do some push-ups, and then they're hopping it. And then they gets them into a V, which is cool. And she goes growling, wildin', and then we have Harvey go do a little knee slide to transition. You got Maya in center. No, she throws with the shoulder to let the arm have its moment. And then they're down on the ground watching, enjoying. And then you have two that are more low. I like the crossover. And then you have two at top tilting their head to help frame Hinata. Very fun. Welcome to the world, and I like how she taps the sides of the head. They all come up from that. Really nice. Great natural separation and spacing. Then we have, just do a switch out. You got Juria coming in center, and I like the strong. Instead of it just being strong or strong, a lot of times you see the body more front. I like that they're angled to the outside, giving a bevel choice. I like Jurian's vibe for that. Really cool. They present, I like the presentation on this too. Looks really nice. They grab, they do a nice little accent on top, which is fun. They push through, and then you have this howling. I love the fact that we're choosing to go harmony for that, and we go from one single feature to a seamless two-part, like a partner feature, right? It's dope. And then it goes howling, so she faces the back, and I love that we have our hands stylized in the back with a lower level. It's just environmentally really full and vast, which is what we love. And then we have the dark, so they go and they create a nice little just half circles frame up. Now, a lot of times whenever people talk about the moon, they talk about Luna, a lot of that kind of stuff, I see a lot of this type of imagery. I love it when we see it. And so that's what this kind of moment reminds me of. It is a fingerprint of something we are used to seeing when we talk about the moon. It's good shaping, good framing, and I like that we had opposition going in on that as well. And then we have this howl, getting us ready for this final outro chorus, which we love. And then we have a little accent with the wrist. Then it goes ding ding, so you have a little glitch effect going on here, which is really cool. And then go out in, and then she goes kick. I love the kick on that's really cool. Then this is a pony, but then we're choosing to let this that right leg go and extend out, or just from the knee, letting that be a moment, but trying to be mindful to not really put too much pressure on that knee to make that moment happen. And I like that we have the head to complement the direction of that leg too. And she goes while in the throw. So honestly, change a pocket from like a really, really feminine one to a I'm not gonna say, I would say not even, I mean, low-key masculine. Going feminine to masculine pockets, guys, is so tricky to do, especially in the group artist world. You don't see it super often. So the fact that we've integrated from like a heavy petty pocket to like a feminine one that has a lot of angles and choices, they are different, even though you can make them cohesive, which is exactly what you see here. So I really like the fact that they do not look awkward at all. We definitely have grown in that area. There were some cases which, depending on the kind of the kind of style, they're really sitting well. They always kind of have with Sienna stuff or with lab stuff, but they really look great for this era for sure. really very minimal misses, which is really fun. So I like the little throw, boom, boom with the throw. So nice. And then it goes, woo. So I like it. So they rebound it from one side to the other. Very intentional with the music. I really like the musicality choices on this. It just ties into everything that we talked about. The bases and how they're choosing to be hit. So fun. Hit, hit, which is also nice. And then we take it. I like the rotation around, which we're here for. Yeah. Rada. Da-da. And then you have Chisa right there at the top, and then they're all down on the ground, and I think my computer just froze. There we go. And she goes, now. So she twinkles that finger in from pinky to index, and you have everybody else take their arm, and they throw that head around, and then you have Harvey go through, and then we end up having each one go and reestablish on the tree, and then they all crawl. Super fun. Boom. Boom. And I like the little head. Boom, boom, there. So we still have choreo. They're not waiting around for this moment. This moment and this moment are working together, and both are justified. You can appreciate both. So they do a little trace across, and they just do a little sway, head, head. I like the little lunge on that. They walk. I like the hinge around. So she slowly comes up, and then they go tap, tap. This part, it reminds me, something ain't right. You've been acting funny lately. Like, it's so era. So era-based. We love it. They look up, and it goes, so that right there, you got to engage with your arms and your back in order to make that nice and clean. I've mentioned that before. That is a fingerprint movement that we see in other works that they have. And they go down. I love that where they're facing the corner. I love the moon. I like that they're all kind of like hovered over. Like, that's such a beautiful picture. It's really, really dope. And I think there's one moment that happened in this that I did not touch on that I saw in the initial one. Oh my gosh, where is it? I think it was possibly in the final chorus, maybe. The kick was really fun. All this was beautiful, syncopated. Ooh, doo, doo. How we howling, boom, howling. You know. Not that part. I'm gonna look for it real quick. Found it. It was here. I was too busy talking about this plank hop that we completely ignored Hinata's section that I caught in the first watch. So watch what she does. This right here, she does the kick, out, in, out, in. That, to me, freaking filthy. Because if you've seen that leg before, if normally you see people in a squat and they end up doing kicks, or you would see them do duck walks, right? So that, to me, was such a dope lunge way to integrate a heavy hybrid in a key element of Vogue. Like, that, to me, disgusting. That was amazing when I saw that in the first watch, and I am shocked I didn't even I didn't even catch it. I was so focused on what the girls were doing on the formation side, but I'm telling you, the fact that it stayed in my brain, that by the end of the routine, I was like, oh crap, there is one element, this part right here, that we needed to find. We found it, we love it. I also like the fact that it looks like we have fur erupting from the moon. Super, super sick. So this, to me, I love. Like, I really, really like this era of XG. I love the fact that I have the privilege of knowing what I know. Through the documentary, I've already watched that. That's all on Patreon. I've had the privilege of seeing their entire discography, even if it's not all on YouTube. Like, I'm just honored of the fact that I get to appreciate what they're doing, and I understand their work ethic. I understand the behind the scenes a little bit more with this group than an average group because of those things we've mentioned. And just, I really, really appreciate the fact that there's long-term investment, not just with the members, but with those affiliated, like the choreographers, performance direction, the composition. Just overall, to me, this is something that I can totally support through and through moving forward. I'm totally a fan of this. Love this. You guys know me. I know you. I'm Jess. I will catch you on the flip side. Bye.